Hello, America. Tonight, we're diving into the murky swamp of congressional stock trading. It's a topic that has been shrouded in secrecy and controversy for years, but it's time to bring it into the light. Buckle up, because this one's a doozy. We're going to explore how some of our elected officials have managed to turn their positions of power into personal profit machines. It seems our elected officials have a knack for turning a profit. But how exactly are they doing it? Are they simply savvy investors, or is there something more sinister at play? And not just any profit. We're talking market-beating returns that would make even the savviest hedge fund manager blush. These are the kinds of returns that most investors can only dream of, but here's the catch. They're doing it while writing the very laws that shape our economy. Coincidence? Maybe. Ethically dubious? Absolutely. This raises serious questions about conflicts of interest and the integrity of our democratic institutions. The American people deserve to know that their representatives are working in their best interest, not just their own portfolios. When trust in our elected officials is eroded, the very foundation of our democracy is at risk. And that's what we're here to talk about. We're going to dig deep into the practices of congressional stock trading, examine the laws that govern it, and ask the tough questions that need to be asked. Stay with us as we uncover the truth and hold our leaders accountable. Let's talk numbers, shall we? The financial landscape has always been a complex and dynamic field, but recent trends have shown some truly remarkable developments, especially when it comes to the portfolios of our congressional members. In recent years, congressional portfolios have grown at an astonishing rate, far outpacing the average returns seen by everyday investors. This growth isn't just a minor uptick, it's a significant surge that has caught the attention of financial analysts and the general public alike. Often eclipsing benchmarks like the S&P 500, these portfolios have shown a resilience and growth pattern that many find hard to believe. The S&P 500, a standard measure of market performance, has been left in the dust by the returns seen in congressional investments. Some lawmakers have seen their investments double in value, a feat that would make any seasoned investor envious. This kind of performance raises several questions about the factors contributing to such success. Raising eyebrows and sparking outrage, the public and media have begun to scrutinize these gains more closely. How is it that these elected officials are able to achieve such remarkable returns, while the average investor struggles to keep pace with the market? How are they consistently outperforming the market? This question has led to a flurry of investigations and debates. Financial analysts, journalists, and even fellow lawmakers are keen to understand the secret behind these impressive gains. Critics argue it's not just savvy investing, it's insider information. The idea that these lawmakers have access to information that the general public does not is a troubling one. It suggests a playing field that is far from level. Access to classified briefings, policy discussions, and confidential data gives them an unfair advantage. This access allows them to make investment decisions based on information that is not yet available to the public, leading to gains that would be impossible for the average investor to achieve. It's like playing poker with marked cards. Imagine sitting at a poker table where you know the cards your opponents are holding. The game becomes significantly easier, and your chances of winning increase dramatically. Sure, you might win a few hands on skill alone, but the real advantage comes from knowing the hidden details. This analogy perfectly captures the essence of the controversy surrounding congressional portfolios, but knowing what your opponent is holding makes it a whole lot easier to rake in the chips. This unfair advantage has led to calls for stricter regulations and greater transparency in the financial dealings of our elected officials. The debate continues, but one thing is clear. The current system raises serious ethical questions that need to be addressed. Now let's peek inside these congressional portfolios, shall we? Unsurprisingly, tech stocks are a favorite. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon. These are just a few of the household names popping up in congressional trading disclosures. And why not? The tech industry is booming, fueled by innovation, government contracts, and a seemingly insatiable appetite for the latest gadgets. But when lawmakers with the power to influence tech policy are also heavily invested in these companies, it raises serious concerns about conflicts of interest. It's not just tech, folks. Our elected representatives are nothing if not diversified investors. Financial institutions like Goldman Sachs are a popular choice, offering a hedge against volatility, and let's be honest, a certain air of Wall Street credibility. Then there are the consumer staples, those boring but essential companies like Walmart that provide a steady stream of profits even in turbulent times. And let's not forget the emerging sectors, those darlings of innovation that stand to benefit from favorable legislation and government funding. Section 5. The Pelosi Portfolio, a case study in scrutiny. No discussion of congressional stock trading would be complete without mentioning the reigning queen of questionable trades, Nancy Pelosi, or more accurately, her husband Paul Pelosi. Mr. Pelosi, you see, has a knack for making remarkably well-timed trades, often in companies that benefit directly from legislation passed by his wife's former chamber. Coincidence? Perhaps. But the sheer volume and profitability of these trades have raised more than a few eyebrows, fueling accusations of insider trading and prompting calls for greater transparency. Section 6. A crisis of confidence, public outrage, and calls for reform. The stench of corruption is overwhelming, and the American people are fed up. Poll after poll shows overwhelming bipartisan support for banning or severely restricting congressional stock trading. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, they all agree lawmakers should be focused on serving the public, not lining their own pockets. This isn't a partisan issue, it's a matter of basic ethics and restoring trust in our government. Section 7. The fight for transparency, legislative efforts to curb trading. The good news is that the public outcry hasn't gone entirely unnoticed. There's a growing movement in Congress to address this issue head-on. Proposals like the Trust in Congress Act and amendments to the existing Stock Act aim to increase transparency and restrict lawmakers' ability to profit from their positions. These bills would ban members of Congress and their families from trading individual stocks, require them to disclose their trades in real time, and strengthen enforcement mechanisms. Section 8. Following the money-emerging trends in congressional investments. But even as the debate over ethics rages on, congressional investing continues apace. So, where's the smart money going these days? Well, technology remains a hot sector, with lawmakers pouring money into artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and anything else that screams future. There's also growing interest in companies aligned with federal policy priorities, like those involved in renewable energy, infrastructure, and defense. And get this, copycat ETFs are now a thing. These exchange-traded funds track the trading activity of prominent lawmakers, allowing investors to piggyback on their supposed wisdom. Section 9. Restoring Trust, Policy Recommendations for a More Ethical Future. In this section, we delve into the critical steps needed to mend the fractures in our political system and restore the public's faith in our democratic institutions. The erosion of trust has reached alarming levels, and it's imperative that we take decisive action to address the root causes of this crisis. It's clear that the current system is broken. The headlines are filled with stories of stock trading scandals and conflicts of interest that undermine the integrity of our political process. Citizens are frustrated, feeling that their voices are drowned out by the influence of money and power. The busy trading floors of Wall Street seem worlds apart from the everyday struggles of ordinary people, yet the decisions made there have profound impacts on all of us. The potential for conflicts of interest is simply too great, and the erosion of public trust is undeniable. So what's the solution? We need comprehensive reforms that address these issues head-on. The sight of congressional hearings and the sound of gavels striking should be symbols of accountability, not reminders of broken promises. Concerned citizens watching the news deserve to see real change, not just more of the same. It's simple: ban congressional stock trading. This is a straightforward yet powerful step that can significantly reduce the risk of conflicts of interest. By prohibiting lawmakers from trading stocks, we can ensure that their decisions are guided by the public good, not personal gain. The bold letters of "ban congressional stock trading" should resonate as a call to action for all of us. Protesters holding signs against corruption are not just fighting for a cause, they are fighting for the very soul of our democracy. No more loopholes, no more excuses. The legislative documents that shape our laws must be crafted with integrity and transparency. The image of a closed loophole sign symbolizes the end of an era where backdoor deals and hidden agendas were the norm. Congressional debates should be focused on the needs of the people, not the interests of a select few. It's time to close the loopholes that have allowed corruption to flourish, and to hold our elected officials to the highest standards of ethical conduct. Lawmakers should be barred from owning individual stocks while in office. Period. This is not just a policy recommendation, it's a moral imperative. The act of signing a document should be a pledge to serve the public with honesty and dedication. Footage of a lawmaker in an office should inspire confidence, not suspicion. Shredding stock certificates is a powerful metaphor for the commitment to ethical governance. By eliminating the temptation of personal financial gain, we can create a political environment where decisions are made for the right reasons. Only then can we begin to restore faith in our democracy and ensure that our elected officials are working for us, not their own wallets. The sight of people waving American flags and cheering in front of a government building should be a testament to the power of collective action and the promise of a brighter future. A handshake between politicians should symbolize unity and a shared commitment to the common good. Restoring faith in our democracy is not just about policy changes, it's about rebuilding the trust that is the foundation of our society. That's our show, everybody. Stay informed, stay engaged, and for the love of God, don't trust anyone who's gotten rich off of Congress. The role of the media and the vigilance of the public are crucial in holding our leaders accountable. A news anchor signing off reminds us of the importance of staying informed. A concerned citizen reading news on a smartphone represents the power of individual engagement, and the image of an empty congressional chamber at night serves as a poignant reminder that the work of democracy is never done. We must remain vigilant and committed to the principles of transparency and accountability. Please note, this is not a financial advice.